Hello viewers, many things are going on currently, even as I'm making this video.
Greetings NBA fans, welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host Ernie Johnson, and seated beside me Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight it'll be the Golden State Warriors going up against the Spurs out in San Antonio. Checking out the Spurs, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. You know, we've heard so long that Greg Popovich is one of the best coaches in the NBA, if not the best. What sets him apart?
There's a ton of things going on. I'm sure the viewer of this video, you're quite aware that there's a bunch of stuff that's brewing. Some of it is mighty important, while other stuff is mostly distraction. Like these games are about 90% of time nice way to distract ourselves of current issues and maybe some stuff going on in our own lives. There's of course one has to be able to differentiate between willful ignorance and nations and that kind of stuff, and people don't have any incentive to educate themselves and are not, they don't have some kind of inherent curiosity of how their lives work and why they have to do things they've been told they have to do. And many times these kinds of questions one has to ask himself, and what's going on with the world when one encounters a crisis and something like that. And this world is experiencing a variety of crises. There are environmental, crisis, humanitarian crisis, wars and famines, even at this day and age. Some people suffer from poor nutrition and they eat too much and the wrong kind, and when it comes to food, the bigger problem these days seems to be that people overeat and eat empty calories instead of earlier we had significant problems providing enough food for the growing population, and this time that's not it. And that's of course thanks to the agricultural revolution and technology and well, there are many other things that have expanded the lifespan of everyday products, and that's been a good thing for the most part. But these kinds of things for profit have also their downsides, and more people are now obese than suffer from malnutrition. That's one of the major things in the developed countries, Western countries, and there's more of that coming to China, for instance, and so that's the kind of phenomena we're talking about. But that's I guess that can be a humanitarian crisis or a societal crisis of whether it's public or private healthcare. Can it be? What is the solution to that one? And many economies and many countries are struggling with their economy and having trouble to pay for some kind of universal healthcare or some other kind of system that would deal with these kinds of issues. And it's been more and more it has developed, or it has become some kind of a money-making machine for the pharmaceutical companies and that kind of stuff. So it, even on that level, it's a rigged system, and you'll have to just wonder, well, what will it take to change things, and why haven't we reached the Star Trek society, so to speak? It's been 50 years since the Gene Roddenberry came up with the idea of a Star Trek, and it has inspired many, but it might still take some time before we're there, even though there's some secret stuff going on. You can read about it if you're curious enough. So, and that kind of thing might one day just pop up and you'll hear about it, and it's gonna change humanity's destiny forever. But at this point we are still pretty much bogged down by this criminal system, and many people argue that it's not the best we have, and well, in fact, that it's not the best as good as it could be, but still it's the best we got, and that's just a mere excuse for those people who don't want to change. They don't want to change themselves. And as I'm here listening here in Finland about the entrepreneurs and businessmen and these kinds of have their own meetings and consultations and events, and they give a press release, or you can read online on some big newspaper site or TV channel about that. We have to deregulate, so to speak, and get rid of some of the norms we've used to have in business. But it kind of feels that they're truly out of ideas and want other people to do the stuff they should be doing themselves. So that's basically it. Everybody else, somebody else to solve the problems, and that's one of the bigger things we have. We always expect someone outside come to our aid, and instead we might have to do some of the heavy lifting ourselves, even if it's painful, and sometimes we might need a revolution, and that might end many lives, and I guess that kind of solution might be unfortunate, and at this day and age when people are so, well, not to say mind controlled to an extent, but willfully ignorant about their own society and the power structure and how things work altogether. So it's hard to convince enough people to cooperate in a let's say progressive and a meaningful way that would pave way to a new kind of society. So there's many things coming up. There might be some kind of environmental disaster or financial meltdown or something like that will work as a catalyst for this kind of development. I'm sure of it. Okay, we must develop our own Star Trek society. Thanks for watching.